Welcome back to DC Today. Chief James Craig of the Detroit Police Department learned of his coronavirus diagnosis at the same time that he found out dozens of other members of his department were suffering as well. We're continuing our conversation now with the chief of police in Detroit. And Chief, let me ask you about crime. I'm curious about, they always say crime doesn't take a holiday. Is it during this pandemic?
You know, we have seen a reduction. It seems since, I want to say the 13th of May, we've seen a decline in shootings and homicides. We started the year off in a rough patch, but we have seen somewhat of a decline. A couple of homicides we had recently, two of us of six were involving domestic violence. We seem to see, everyone's sheltered. And so we can't say definitively, but we have seen some conflict-based calls.
How do you feel knowing that people like me, when you're sick, pick up the phone and call your PR staff and say, can we talk to the chief? I mean, you're doing that battle between trying to heal yourself, but also serve the public. Take me behind your thought process.
Well, the way I look at it.
You can say I'm pissed off at y'all for calling me.
No, because one thing people know about James Craig is if I don't want to do anything, I don't do it. And if I don't like your questions, I'll let you know I don't like your question. But more importantly, I think it's important that I do this for the men and women I'm leading. One of the things that I've done since I've been here in Detroit and other cities where I've been chief of police, I think it's important to work with the media, communicate with the media on an ongoing basis, because that's how you talk to the community. And many in the community want to hear from me. Recently, by way of example, there were some very nasty rumors circulating over social media platforms, Snapchat and Facebook, saying I had died. Mm. And so, totally not true. And so it was important for me, and it is important for me to do this, really to also applaud the work of these brave men and women who go out to this unknown enemy to deal with every day without hesitation. And so I get to use my bully pulpit to do that. And so that's why this is important for me. I affectionately or unaffectionately, when I arrived back to Detroit, was referred to as Hollywood. Because I never met a camera I didn't like. But that was never the issue. It really is about my service to this community and certainly the service to the men and women of the police department. To me, that's what's really important. And so I don't find it a bother. I know I did an interview it might have been CNN several days ago. I wasn't at my best, but it was important for me to do it and certainly get the message out.
You lost some officers. How does the department process not being able to say goodbye to police officers the way departments usually do?
That's a tough one. By way of example, one of our very popular leaders, a captain, Captain Parnell, who ran my homicide section, that was difficult. And only a limited number of people could come to his services. We're committed to, once we get past this, that we'll do a celebration of life in the appropriate fashion. And there are many officers that struggled with that. They wanted to be there. They wanted to celebrate his life. Detroit certainly has been a place for this department where we've lost a number of officers and have always given, a big homegoing, but this was very different. I couldn't be there. Certainly was something I was concerned about, but I was at home. I'm home recovering.
When you heard that he had passed, how did that make you feel?
It was shocking.
Yeah.
It was shocking. In fact, it was just before I got tested. And so, of course, on the heels of that, then getting a positive test, troubling, very troubling.
Has it caused you to look at life differently?
I've always had a an above average spiritual constitution. I'm sure this has enhanced it in so many ways. And I guess doing this work for 44 years, I guess I haven't had a real good chance to enjoy life like most people. I'm a workaholic, take very few vacations. And when I do leave town, generally, I'm leaving town for some business trip. Maybe now I'll take care of the small things, I do the things that I probably should do, and I just won't lose sight of that.
Well, when you come east, I'll throw a slab of ribs on the grill for you.
Okay, east where? East?
Washington, D.C., east,
Oh,
east,
yeah.
east of St. Louis.
That's one of East St. Louis?
East
Yeah.
of St. Louis.
Oh, I see. I got you.
So we can get our barbecue straight.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Chief, we hope you continue to mend, and God bless you.
Hey, God bless you too, man. Thanks so much for giving me an opportunity.
You got it. Talk to you soon. When we come back, we'll talk to Vincent McCraw, the former editor at the Detroit Free Press, concerning coronavirus and how it is affecting Motown, knowing that the worst may be yet to come. Stay with us.